If you've ever wondered how to sell ideas to companies, this episode is for you. And before we wrap up, I'll share with you the biggest relationship mistake that I want you to avoid when working with companies. First, if you're here, I want to commend you, because if you're looking for how to sell ideas to companies, it means you're a visionary, you're a futurist, you're a strategist. But that also means you could be ahead of your time. And selling an idea to companies can be tricky. At Bold House, we teach our clients 5 rules of business. And one of those rules is to think big, start small, and move fast. And when you're trying to sell a unique idea or a new idea to companies, something they may have never thought of before, or most companies aren't doing, you really need to lean into that idea of thinking big, starting small, moving fast. And if you've got a big idea, you've already done the first part. So now let's look at how to start small and move fast. The first step in the process is to build a business case that makes this idea valuable to decision makers. So the first part of that business case is, what business problem does this idea solve? All organizations have 4 types of problems. Every problem starts out as a people problem. It turns into a process problem. From there, it becomes a product problem, whether it's actually a product or a service, and then ultimately a profit problem. So which of those 4 problems is your unique idea addressing? Next, why is it urgent? Organizations today really live in the tyranny of urgent. Just because something's important, they rarely have time to actually get to it. So unless you can tie your idea to something that's a burning kitchen fire, then organizations will think, that's a great idea, but it's not something that we have the bandwidth or the money to do right now. And last, but most important, what is the ROI? What is the return on investment in this idea? And when we talk about ROI, it really does have to be a financial ROI. How is this idea or this solution going to be something that either saves a company significant money or helps them increase their revenue or their profitability? Those 3 pieces are going to come together as your fundamental business case for selling this idea or this unique solution to the companies that you think it's most going to help. Step number 2 is to build your credibility. Companies, decision makers don't take a risk based on your potential. They make an investment because of the proof that you offer. So in order to help them understand that you have a proven track record, you need to be able to articulate that to them in a very succinct and powerful way. How many years have you been working with organizations or with the end users who are going to benefit from your solution or your idea? Or have you been involved in that industry or in that field of expertise? What organizations have you worked with? What is your track record of results? Can you share that with them in percentages, in metrics, in KPIs? If you don't have the actual metrics to share numerically with organizations, then they're not going to risk their money, their time, or their other resources inside the organization in order to invest in your novel idea or unique solution. Now, what if you've never delivered this exact solution or this idea before? In that case, you need to start with a beta or a pilot program. And you can think of it as your MVP. What is your minimum viable program that you could pilot or test with an organization? And sometimes those initial tests, that market research that you're doing in order to help build that credibility, is something that you'll need to do on your own dime and your own time. It's part of your investment in your own research and development in order to be able to show that track record to those very discerning decision makers. The third step in selling an idea to a company is to start where you already have relationships. One of the other rules of business that we teach at Bold House is to grow where you are planted. Part of that is geographically. The other part of that is where you already have relationship roots in the ground. Think about your peers, former coworkers, colleagues, and relationships that you have inside of organizations, even organizations that you may have worked with in the past. Those folks already have the know, like, trust factor built with you. They know you are someone who delivers on your promises, that you follow through. It's going to be easier to get helpful feedback that's also very candid on your idea, so you understand exactly which sales objections you're most going to face when selling your idea or unique solution to other organizations inside the market. And make sure you're approaching these conversations as actual conversations. The idea is not to convince. If you find yourself trying to convince a decision maker on something, then you know you haven't done a thorough job of building your business case. Because if you have a business case that's really solid, by the time you get to this stage of having conversations with decision makers, they should be leaning in. They should be asking you questions because you've piqued their curiosity and they want to know more. So treat these conversations as just that, a conversation in order to gain feedback from your target market. In a way, you can think of these one-on-one conversations as mini focus groups for testing your idea or solution. Step 4 is to use a gateway offer to get your foot in the door. In step 1, you made sure you built the business case. In step 2, you built your credibility. And in step 3, you started having conversations with people that you know. Step 4 is to package what you offer as a gateway offering, something that is small, has lower risk for the decision maker, doesn't cost a lot of money, so it has fewer approvals involved, and it gives you a chance to start testing out your idea. It's amazing what happens when the rubber finally meets the road and what you're going to learn about your idea or solution. The unexpected challenges that are going to come up, the pieces that aren't entirely clear to organizations, and other hurdles that are going to get in the way of getting the result that you originally envisioned. Typically, even great ideas only keep about 50% of their original concept by the time the idea starts getting tested inside of real companies with real employees, real leaders, real customers, out in the real world. And that should be your goal. And keep in mind, your main goal with a gateway offering isn't to make money. Your main goal with your gateway offering is to be able to point to the social proof that organizations are starting to leverage your idea or solution and to start getting metrics of the success rate inside of organizations, so that when you meet with other decision makers in the future, decision makers who perhaps have never met you before and have very low trust factor with you in place, you're able to point to the real world results that your solution or idea has driven. So those are the 4 basic steps to get you started if you're an innovator or a futurist and you're looking to sell a unique idea to companies. But now what I want you to do is click on the link below, head over to my video on how to sell to big corporations. In that video, I break down the exact steps of building a successful gateway offering that not only gets your foot in the door, but also lays the foundation so that those organizations continue to work with you long term. The link is right below. Click on that now and I'll meet you there.